Okay, so I fully intended to make a video about, like, this is what happened in the newest episode of Survivor. This is what happened in the newest episode of Chucky. I was going to watch the new Chucky today and talk about it, and there's no new Chucky? And I was like, oh, that's weird. Let me check. Like, did they take a week off or something? Is there some kind of delay in it coming in on Peacock? Oh, I guess the season's done for now, and that was the mid-season finale after only 4 episodes, and it'll come back in 2024. Okay. I don't know if this is like a writer's strike caused delay, because I figured if it was, that probably would have stopped like production entirely, and like we wouldn't have even gotten the season, but I don't know, that's weird, and I wasn't expecting that. I guess that's maybe why I guess what was the mid-season finale was so brutal. Like, because we've had, like, some brutal deaths already in the show, but, like, that chandelier shit was a show. I guess it was literally a showstopper because it stopped fucking production. I was like, that was an incredibly brutal episode. I was like, this is fucking hype. This is fucking crazy. Oh, I guess that's kind of why, you know, leave them with something fucking dope, and then we'll come back later. So there's no Chucky for me to talk about, but I do have Survivor. I really have some Survivor to talk about, because fuck, that tribal was fun. If you know, you know. So essentially, like, yesterday, was the Murgatory episode. So essentially pre-Murgatory, like, after the Brando vote, Kendra's not happy, and she does this whole thing about how, for all intents and purposes, what she said is like, you know, I'm not someone who generally believes in revenge. I'm a chill person. I'm like a yoga, astrology kind of person. But Emily is now on my shit list because I trusted her. She betrayed me, and like, she betrayed me, and I don't care anymore. But I wasn't going to make a reference to The Room originally. I just couldn't help it. No, when I was watching the episode, I thought of Toy Story. It's like, although you tried to terminate me, revenge is not an ideal we promote on my planet. Oh, well, that's good. But we're not on my planet, are we? That's immediately what I thought of. And I was like, that's fucking gold. Because I think she even says, she's like, yeah, like, I don't really do that kind of shit, but it's Survivor. This is where you get revenge. It's okay. Like, this is some Buzz Lightyear ass logic, and I'm all for it. And then on New Lulu, so essentially Caleb and the Bellow Squad is, they're going idol hunting. They're like, hey, the merge is probably coming soon. Let's go ahead and find this thing so one of us has it. So it's everybody but Katurah. So it's kind of interesting how they're like, yeah, we don't really trust Katurah. We're not going to keep her in our Bellow stuff. But Caleb, you're essentially taking her place as part of Bellow, which we'll get to a little bit later. But Reva's kind of doing the same thing with Emily. They're like, wait, we're good to cut Jay, but you can be new Jay, I guess. So Bruce is the one that finds the idol. It's a Beware advantage, which is not a, like, you have to do. Essentially, the crazy shit you have to do is, like, it's under your shelter, dig for it. So they're digging for it. They're having trouble finding it. And then Jake at one point's like, I have a plan. I got a plan because I'm smart. He's like, he loses one of his rings in the dirt. He's like, fuck, I gotta find my ring. And he's like, oh my gosh, I can't find it. What the hell? And then he just like looks at Bruce and Caleb and winks. So like, that was just really goofy in the best possible way. I enjoyed that a lot. But as the boat is coming in, be like, hey, you're gonna be merged. You got 10 minutes. Bruce is like, cool. Where's this fucking thing? Where's this fucking thing? Where's this fucking thing? Got it. Okay, cool. Have a vote. There's no vote sacking required with this one. It is a regular deadass, if you have it, you're good till 5 idol kind of thing. So Bruce is idled up. Everybody on New Lulu, which is again old Bellow minus Brando and Kendra, but plus Caleb. Everyone on that beach knows except Katurah. So I almost said fuse, like this is fucking Dragon Ball. So they all fuse onto the old Reba beach. And, you know, everyone's having a good time, you know, getting to know each other. Ems and Bruce have a conversation where they essentially try to squash their beef from episode 1 in that first meeting. And Bruce is like, I'm not gonna no. I'll be like, yeah, it's nice, it's fine, but no, like, you painted a target on my back, fuck you. I'm sorry, but that's how it is. And Emily's like, I don't think he bought it for a second. It's like, sure, like, I do feel bad about it. Like, I'm being kind of genuine, but I don't think he has any intention of working with me. And, you know, it kind of is what it is. Emily and Caleb reunite, and there were a few times since the swap where Emily's like, this is the first time I've had an actual alliance in this game. Like, I haven't really had allies before. And I kept thinking to myself, I was like, what about Caleb? Is this essentially like the edit's way of saying, she's like, I'm actually not that close to him. I'm going to throw him to the wolves first chance I get. But as soon as they meet up again, like, they're so happy. They're like, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. You're still my number one. You're still my number one. Yay. So what are we going to do? It's like, I chose Reba in that thing, so I'm really good with Reba. It's like, I'm really close to a lot of these Bello people. And I think she even says to him, like, the reason I chose Reba over Bello is it seemed like there's more potential cracks in Reba, so I think it's easier for us to get in. He's like, dude, I'm good. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just kind of going to talk to everybody, see what I can find out. He's vibing. Everybody loves him. And then Bruce at one point is like, Caleb is talking to everybody, and no one is talking to me. And you can make an argument that this is like petty male jealousy, like no one's coming to me, but everyone's coming to him. I want to get rid of him. Go, 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 go. There's an argument to be made, but I feel like Bruce is a bit smarter than that. Like, he definitely has a goofball persona, but I don't know how much of that is he plays that up to hide how smart he actually is. Or it's like, this is a genuine personality, but, excuse me, like, the guy's not a pure idiot. Essentially what Bruce realizes is, no one is talking to me, either from the, like, aside from that conversation, like, with Emily, it's like, no one's coming up to me and saying, this is what I'm learning, this is who I'm, like, his old tribe mates aren't conferring with him about what we should maybe do going forward, like, are we Bello strong or whatever. None of the Rebas are coming up to him to try to talk, maybe try to make some cross-tribal alliances. He's like, no one is trying to talk any strategy with me. But Caleb is talking to everyone. This dude is dangerous. Like, he's too likable for his own good. And I know that Bello sees him as, like, essentially another tribe mate of ours, and I was down for that. But now that we're at the merge, I'm seeing how dangerous someone like Caleb is. And it's very possible that, you know, because I don't know exactly when this was filmed. I don't know if 44 was already finished, because everyone knows about Bruce, so I don't know if this started filming sometime after 44 started airing, but before it finished, or if everyone saw how that season ended. Because if everyone saw how 44 ended, they'd be like, yeah, we saw what the Tika 3 fucking did. How it was this tribe against this tribe, and they just played the middle, kind of floated along, ping-ponged between votes, and took out whoever they wanted, and they were safe until the final four, where it's like, literally none of them could be voted out at that point. It's just, can you make fire or not? He's smart enough to know Caleb can do something similar. Like, this is a Matt Singh situation, and I'm not going to let myself fall for it. He's dangerous. We need to take him out. And as much as I love Caleb, I'm like, I don't think Bruce is entirely in the wrong here. The fact that no one is talking strategy with him is not a good thing. The fact that, like, Katura's been wanting him gone the whole time. Kelly has a few conversations with Caleb where she's like, dude, I just want Bruce gone. Like, I feel like he's an active detriment to my game. This isn't working. Like, it feels like his days are numbered, but I gotta give him credit for being able to really identify what was going on. I don't think I brought up the stick bug yet. Maybe I did, but I'm not sure. There was just this one scene. It was particularly like Drew and Austin were talking to each other, and they're like, oh my god, all these people are being so buddy-buddy and shit, and I get it, you know, there's fake smiles. We're all happy to make the merge, but I mean, we got to make sure we take all these people out. Like, we're still playing a game of Survivor, and like, as they're having this conversation, you see the rest of the tribe is gathered around the shelter, and there's this fucking stick bug that's, like, moving up the part of the shelter, and they're having this, like, fucking... this fucking, like, Wiccan ritual around the stick bug. They're, like, chanting and singing and shit, and it's just kind of, like, dancing. I'm like, this in and of itself is just kind of some, like, goofy, fun shit that I love to see. But the fact that you got Drew and Austin in the other room going, oh my goodness, like, why are these people so dumb while they're, like, praising a fucking bug? It was glorious. So Drew and Austin particularly, they want to get rid of J Maya to make the amulets. Like, they get back with D and Mama J. They're like, okay, here's the thing. Amulet shit. Want to take care of that. Jay has one of the amulets. We kind of want to get rid of her, so we get a little bit stronger. We feel like if we target one, like we don't want to target one of the two Lulus because we like Emily a lot and Caleb could have his uses. And if we target one of the Bellos too early, it's going to start a huge tribal conflict. So let's target Jay. We want her gone because of the amulet thing. We don't really trust her. Shifu wants her gone because of the whole voting for Shifu snafu, which Jay didn't even do, but admitted to doing it. Essentially, what she did was like, I'm going to do the three of us girls a solid by falling on someone else's sword, because that's how loyal I am to this trio. And Mama J and D are like, we think J Maya will like slit our throats in our sleep. Like, she will turn on us so fucking quickly. We want to get rid of her as soon as possible to prevent that from happening. I'm just kind of sitting here going like, what season am I watching? Because I'm not on the island. You guys know your relationship with her way better than I do. But from what I've seen, she seems like she's incredibly loyal to you two. Like, maybe not to Reba as a whole. She clearly never really liked Shifu. But she's loyal to the two of you 100%. And if, for D and Mama J, I feel like we like Drew and Austin and we want to be in that four more than we want to be a trio with J Maya, that's completely fine. But it feels weird for them to say, we don't trust her. It seems less than like, we want to cut her because we will have to eventually because she's not in our core plans. That's one thing. But if it's like, she's going to like turn on us ASAP, from what I've seen, there's no indication of that. And if you are saying it's like, yeah, you know, this whole Bello and Reba war that is going to be coming, wouldn't it be better to keep all of your Reba members? Because, again, like, aside from not liking Shifu very much, it seems like J Maya is a very, like, Reba strong kind of person. So you'd have your Reba 6, which is more than the Bello 5, with, obviously, Caleb and Emily in the middle. But it seems like you guys think you've got Emily on your side, and maybe you could have her bring Caleb, and this 6-5 battle quickly becomes 8-5. And you're definitely in the lead there. Now, yeah, maybe there's a thing of where you're afraid that Emily and Caleb can just kind of keep flip-flopping. And if that happens, you probably go up to Bello and go, let's take care of this. Let's squash it like the stick bug. And hopefully they never squash the stick bug. Stick bug is best boy or girl. I don't know. I'm just confused as to why you would cut one of your own members so quickly when every indication is she is trustworthy, she wants to work with us, and even if she's just a number, that's one more number you have that the other tribe doesn't. And again, you know, because the way this season feels so far at this point, it is seeming like it's a very Reba versus Bello with Lulu in the middle, and not more of a, we're kind of just doing whatever the fuck, like weird, like a voting block kind of thing, and she's just the one on the outs of it. I mean, maybe that is how it will go going forward. I'm not super sure. I was just a little confused as to why it was so early for her own tribe mates to target her like that. Not even just like, okay, if everyone wants to do that, we're fine with it. Like, they threw her under the bus. Shifu, I get, he's like, I think she voted for me. I don't trust her. Even Austin, like, with the sandwich thing, which is still pretty funny. It's like, I kind of get it, but, like, damn, like, you couldn't wait around for that? Or it's like, I mean, your sandwich thing, Kelly did it too, and she's a Bello. Wouldn't it be better to get rid of Kelly, and then afterwards, if you really still want to, you get rid of J Maya? I don't know. I mean, that's like kind of more or less what happened before the challenge. So the challenge, because it's Murgatory, divided into 2 tribes of 6, with a 13th person not on either tribe to pick one of them to win. So the tribes, if I would look at my notes, but Bahamut is now standing on my notebook, so I can't read it. But I believe it was Emily, Caleb, Jake, Kelly, D, and J Maya on one team, everybody but Katura on the other, and Katura picked the other team to win. It's like, yeah, this team looks a lot stronger. I'm going to pick them to win the challenge. And they fucking dominated that challenge. So those 7 were safe, and those 6 that I named were the ones that were up for elimination. And essentially the others are having their feast. They're like, all right, well, We're all Gucci. Anyone want to throw out a name? And then Shifu's like, I don't fucking trust J-Maya. I want her gone. And the Rebas are like, yeah, we're actually really okay with that. And then Bruce is like, I think we should vote Caleb. I just don't fucking trust him. And Kendra, who wants to get rid of him because he's close to Emily, at least that's what I think, is like, yeah, I'm down with that too. And Katura's sitting there going, my bellows. Reba is offering up one of their own. Why don't we capitalize on that? Like, first off, I like Caleb. I don't want to get rid of him. Second, I thought we saw Caleb as like, as like an additional, like an honorary member of Bello. Why do we want him gone? Why are we offering him when Reba is offering one of their own and then it becomes 5-5? And if we're that close to Caleb, it's more of a 6-5 with Emily in the middle. And then maybe Caleb brings Emily over to us. Why are we doing this? And she confronts Bruce. I don't remember exactly how the conversation went, but it was, they definitely didn't see eye to eye. And then the Reba member, because Austin's like, I really want to get J-Maya gone. This amulet shit and my sandwich revenge. But I can do Caleb. So I talked to Emily about it. They're like, Ems, this is what we're going to do. You down for it? And she's thinking to herself, like, Caleb's my number one. I don't want to fucking see him gone. But if I fight too hard to save him, I don't know what'll happen. Like, they might now turn on me. She's like, I mean, if you guys save, like, we can still do J-Maya. Like, if you guys save Caleb, he'll be eternally grateful. He'll be really loyal. To which Kendra's just like, that's not how Survivor works. And Emily's like, that's exactly how Survivor works. Which is really funny. Like, when you think about it, because from Kendra's perspective, it's like, yeah, I mean, you, I guess in a sense, you saved me by voting for Brando instead of voting for me, but I'm not grateful, Emily, that you did that. I'm angry at you, and I want to make your Survivor life suffer. From Emily's perspective, it's like, you know, Caleb reached out to me after that first tribal. He saved me in the game. Like, he stuck his neck out for me over Brandon, and I was eternally grateful to him, and then I saved him from the whole Sabaya thing, and he's grateful to me. It's like, Kendra can see, like, this is not what happens in Survivor, and Emily's like, that's literally been my Survivor experience. So she gets Caleb, and she's like, Caleb, this is what's going on. It's you. And it's not even just, like, your name's being thrown out. It's you. Like, this is, there's a point where he's like, well, what about Bruce? Like, I'm good with Bruce. No. Bruce doesn't like you. I'm sorry. And he's like, you know, like, how bad do you think it is? Like, it's play your shot in the dark bad. And he had that look like, oh, I'm fucked. So then, like, they get to tribal. People are talking about shit. And at one point, Caleb's like, look, I know I'm a threat. I know this is why people want me gone. But what about J-Maya? Like, come on. She's right there. We should vote her out. And he gives his pitch and doesn't really seem like anyone is that convinced. So they go to vote. And as Caleb goes up to the thing, he just yells, J-Maya! Like, it's straight out of Penner from Philippines. Go, Denise! As after he made his pitch. It's fucking great. But unlike Penner, who voted for Denise, Caleb didn't vote. He played a shot in the dark. He listened to Emily, and he was safe. And every fucking vote in that urn had Caleb's name on it. All 11. That is a record for nullifying votes. And what's crazy is when it comes out as safe, with the exception of J-Maya, for very obvious reasons, no one really seemed like, oh, are you kidding me? Hi Bahamut, like, he's safe? Oh my god, what the fuck? Everyone was happy. Like, Shifu and Emily in particular were like really happy, but everyone was kind of like surprised, but like smiling and laughing. It really gives me that vibe that's like everyone wanted to vote out. Everyone voted out Caleb, but everyone likes him. Which, granted, in Survivor, that can be plenty of reason to want someone gone. But it was like, there was no hard feelings in this vote. Everyone loves this dude. They're like, I'm sorry, we got to do this. Even Emily's like, you need to play your shot in the dark. I have to, which is not a scene we see, but it's kind of implied that, like, I have to write your name down because if I don't, everyone's going to start turning to me. Like, hey, like, you threw one vote at J-Maya. That's kind of weird. Why did you do that? It's like, did you think he was playing his shot in the dark? Did you tell him to play his shot in the dark? So I get why she did what she did, but Caleb is safe. Everyone is ecstatic. J. Maya is just like, I'm gone. I'm fucked. Oh my... But every vote was Caleb, so they have to revote. And as Jeff says, because this is a revote, you cannot play any shot in the darks. You can't play any idols either. Which is generally what happens. Like, if there's essentially, like, if there's a tie and you have to revote, you can't play your advantages now. You have to play it before the first vote. So, there's a bit of a scramble beforehand. It's like, who do we vote for now? Jay, yeah, she's gone. And then she's like, Emily? And then Jay was the only person to vote for Emily. Everyone else voted her out. And what was really sad is when J. Maya was voted out, no one seemed to care. Like, you know, normally what happens on Survivor, it's like someone is voted out, what happens? Everyone kind of stands up, hugs them, maybe shakes their hand, you know, say some parting words. Like when Sean quit, everyone got up, kind of gave him a hug, and then Chief was like, yo, did you vote for me? No, I didn't. Like, don't trust him and shit. But it's like, there was something. I think even when Brandon was voted out, you know, there was like you know, sorry, dude, nice to know you, blah, blah, blah. It was almost like crickets chirping when J. Maya was voted out. There was like oh, sorry, Jay. But it felt very like hollow polite. Like when someone is being polite, but you know they don't mean any of it. I was like, that's... Like, as happy as I am for Caleb, because, like, I really like watching it play. Like, the dude's really fun. Like, I feel so bad for her. And it's like, when she watches the season, she's not going to see herself very much on it. And she's also going to see that's like, man, like, my tribe that I thought I was really close to did not care for me at all. Like, they were willing to throw me to the wolves and throw me under the bus. Like, without even, like, an attempt to want to save me. That's devastating. Like, that really fucking sucks. But, that was that episode. It looks like next episode, they're like, all right, the Reba Bella War is coming. And Jeff says, like, hey, 2 people are getting voted out. So I can only assume it's that where it's like, all right, there's 12 people now. So here's a tribe of 6. Here's a tribe of 6. 1 person immune on each side, which... Can I just say I don't like that? Like, we just had the merge, and half the tribe was immune. I don't like that. Like, this is the merge vote. I mean, you can say, well, it's not really the merge. I don't care. Everyone is on the same beach. It's the fucking merge. Everyone should be fair game. You know, unless you want an immunity challenge, like, I got my necklace, I'm safe, or you have, like, an idol or something. This is such a huge pivotal vote that can swing entire games. Like, look at what happened in Cagayan at the merge vote. Like, could you imagine if, like, half the tribe was immune? We wouldn't have got something so interesting or iconic, or, like, in Heroes versus Villains. It seems very much like Bruce probably would have been the target if it wasn't for this. Members of his own tribe don't like him. Reba would have been happy to see him go. Emily wouldn't have given a shit. Caleb probably wouldn't have given a shit. Caleb probably would have tried to save him, but maybe he would have been like, yeah, I'm going to cut my losses. And either Bruce goes home with an idol in his pocket, or he can see the writing on the wall, play it, and maybe we have something very similar, where Bruce negates like 12 votes against him, and it's like, damn, even my own Bellow Strong allies turned on me, and his 1 vote... Maybe it's for Caleb. Maybe he, like, votes for Mama J or some shit, like, for someone on Reba. He's like, I had the sole power. Kind of like a Ben situation. It's like, negated every vote except for his, and Lauren was gone. That would... I don't want to say, like, what we got yesterday was, like, shitty or anything, because I really like it. But for a vote this huge, I like the idea that everyone is on the chopping block. And it's like, okay, now you're officially merged... But not really. You're going to have U6 do something and U6 do something. Like, I don't like that. Because, no, we're not really merged at this point. Like, everyone should be fair game. I don't love it. And there's also the fact that, like, you know, it's the new era. You got to expect the unexpected. You can't really say expect the unexpected when it's become really formulaic. Thank goodness this season had a swap. I was like, oh my goodness, we haven't seen one of these. I've been looking forward to one of these. But aside from that, it's like, no, this doesn't really feel that different. I'm still liking it. I really like a lot of the players and the characters here. But that's why I don't want these, like, new era limitations of, like, all right, we gotta swap at the, like, we have to split at the merge. It's the merge. If you want to say it's like you're on the same beach, but you're not really merged, so we're doing something weird. Now we're merged. This vote should, like, it's huge. Why fuck with it? But, I mean, that's just me. I still like the show a lot. I still like the season a lot. Like I just said, I'm looking forward to seeing more. I wish I had Chucky to talk about as well. Unfortunately, I don't. But I guess that's the end of this video, so I'll see you later.